Okay, so let's go over a build, shall we? This was my bleed 'em out build. It's been tested a few times and everybody keeps saying that they got a really good one. Let's go ahead and break down some differences in some builds, shall we? So as you can see right now, I'm using the crossbow for the extra damage from status affected enemies for my teammates. Now we're going with a two-piece walker like someone suggested, and we're going with a Fenris, the extra armor, because again, I show in one of my videos that damage to armor increases the status effect damage. So we got two pieces of walker, we have a Petrov gloves, Fenris because that's our main weapon, and then a piece of Seska, so that way we can get the crit chance out for the AR. Now as you can see, my backpack is not fully maxed out. We're missing a very tiny bit of crit damage and a tiny bit of crit chance. Now the armor cores are important because you're going to be getting some very the wicked and everything else is going to give you some serious damage. Not a whole lot of extreme damage, but strong enough because you're going to have a lot of crit damage on here, as well as the health damage from the ARs will also give the status effect some damage. So you saw we had too much. We're putting on one piece of crit damage here, so we can kind of even this out to where we're about 58, maybe 59 is when it maxes out to, I can't remember, but just we're trying to drop down some of that crit chance to where we're not wasting it. So again, as I explained, shotguns with the damage to armor help out a lot for this bleed. Now I'll show later on that the bleed on this chest is not as good as it seems, but it's good enough for certain builds. Now if you're going to go with a armor regen for this, don't expect a whole lot from the armor regen. What you're going for is the wicked. The wicked is the weapon damage, okay? Because when you're going player versus player, you're not going to get that armor regen back fast enough. So all you're trying to do is use the chest piece to get the wicked talent so you can do the damage. You're going to still want a healer with this build no matter what you do. Okay, we're just trying to get the most damage out of this build. Now in PvE, okay, it's pretty good. But then again, you want something else as a backup bleed for some targets like far away. And that's why we're using the bleed hive. Now again, the crossbow, when you give them that status effect, you're going to give your teammates that extra 10%. Not you, I don't think it gives it to you, but it'll give it to you. But also with that crossbow comes this pistol. Has a perfect status. So I don't know why the devs put damage to target out of cover on the bottom of this when it does nothing for the bleed effect. So I've got a shotgun here. I'm going to change it later on from damage target out of cover to health damage so we can get that extra damage when we're using this shotgun. So again, if you're going to use a shotgun, make sure you have something like this. This one here has the best stability and accuracy, but put health damage on the bottom. So I'm going to do like this one player suggested. I'm going to show you the damage numbers of what he's probably getting. This is not mine, and you see I don't have it maxed out. I'm not going to max this one out. But you can see our status effect is for 35. That's just the status, okay? I'll show you again. Look, we're hitting with the AR because it's got damage to armor and health damage. We're hitting at 35 to 38. So that's the status effect with this. So that's added extra damage you can get from this build because you have the status effect. So we also want to try to max that out. Now for the AR gut shots, we're hitting for what, 340? I think it was 340, 349 or something like that. I'll add the numbers in later on. Now that's damage to armor, so we can get the extra piece out against players. Now you can also use a piece of Grupo here to get extra crit damage. So now we're sitting at 47.7, which should probably max out to about 49. And then we got 15 extra % crit damage. So now we're hitting for 386 or 368. Try again. Anyways, we'll go for headshots. 472. 472 for headshots with the crit damage. So that's not bad. If you're going to hit headshots and you're on PC, it's pretty good. Because that damage to armor is going to multiply the status effect as well. So if you're going to go with a AR, go with this. Okay? Now I've got another build I'm going to show you, and yeah, it's 350, yeah, 35 280 something or other. Now let's show you the shotgun. As you can see it kind of changed the number. So now we're hitting for 3.7. So hey, look, that's an extra 2K in damage, right, from the shotguns. So let's show you a different version if you want to use SMGs. Now here is my version that I put together. It's a little harder to put together because you have to get all the right rolls to put the armor cores on so you can get armor. So you got to find ones with status effect and crit damage. Now the reason why is because we don't need a whole lot of crit chance with the shotguns, but we don't need it for the SMGs. So the status effect on this is going to keep that bleed on the target longer. Okay, that's why we're going with this. Again, the shotgun, this is probably the best one. Now you can use a mop or a different type, like the thing is a 612 or something like that. That's another good one, but make sure you have this pistol on. Again, it's for that because of the crossbow right here. Now we're going with this right here for the crit damage, okay, because we want to get as much crit damage as we can out of this, because we don't need a whole lot of crit chance with SMGs and shotguns. So as you can see, we have the Petrov gloves here. Now you can use these. You're going to lose that damage to armor though against players as well as against ads. It's okay because it gives you an extra 15% crit or status effect. So if you want to use those, that's fine, but don't go with the Overlord knee pads. Okay, now I'll show you, just to explain, we'll put on the Overlord knee pads that I have with weapon damage right here, with the crit damage and weapon damage. We'll put those on because I'm still looking for the Sokolov knee pads with armor so I can trade those out. But we'll show you the damage numbers with this first to kind of explain it. But again, it's 2-piece Sokolov at that point, but you want that third piece or a piece of Seska for the knee pads for the shotgun, so you have some crit chance for your shotgun. Okay, because see, we're sitting at 42 right now. If I drop that off, you're only going to get like 10% on that shotgun plus a 10% on your watch. So with this right here, if we did that, we'd have to take off some crit damage and put on the crit chance to get a little bit higher, because we do want it pretty close to 50. And you see, we lost not a whole lot of crit damage, but I think it's 47 and 188 right there, that, or 186, which isn't bad. And you see now our bleed, because that status effect is hidden for 41, and we're using the pistol because we're not putting any damage to armor on. So you can see, again, damage target out of cover, so we don't have any extra, so its base is now 41. So that's 41k extra in damage that you're doing against players. And don't ask me why it's hidden for 38 right there with a freaking shotgun. Thank you, oh yeah, it's health, my bad. Never mind, I'll show you later when I put the health on that. Alright, so use the SMG. We're going to see what the damage are with the Overlord knee pads. We're at 520. 520 on the gut shots. That's not bad. And we'll go back. Yeah, hold on, sorry, kind of going over this real quick. Yeah, let's do a headshot. Okay, so we're at 646. I saw a 1 for 646, but again, we don't have a whole lot of crit chance. Yeah, 646, a whole lot of crit chance, so we didn't have a lot of crit numbers. So if I do throw on this, again, it's got weapon damage as well, so we're not losing any weapon damage or anything. And you see right here, we're just trading the damage target out of cover for status effect, because damage target out of cover does not help status effects. So you're like 520, so we lost a little bit on the gut, and 6 something, so we lost a little bit on the headshot. So again, we're losing it in damage numbers, but if you look, I'll show you again later on that the status effects are not helped. And you can even go to my Eclipse one, actually. If you want to go to my description in here, you go to the Eclipse, you'll see that the damage target of cover does not help. So you can put on the Overlord knee pads if you want for your weapon damage, but again, you want that crit, that extra 10% for the shotguns. So that's why I built it this way. Oh look, 607. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah, forgot to put the knee pads on before I showed you. So we're hitting for 607. I think I'll go back to the numbers again and show you. And what was the shotgun again? 698. Yep. So again, there's multiple ways to do this to get the more damage. Now I'm just using this because I want that extra status effect, because again, the status effect will keep the bleed on the target longer for more armor regen. Now let's show you some armor regen stuff. Oh wait, before I do that, before I even change it, yeah, let me run up here and let me show you one thing of what I was talking about. Yeah, I believe it's, yeah, I got a spec for SMGs, shotguns, ARs just in case, and I think it's down here in the bottom. I think it's right, yeah, there it is. Okay, so see, group members get 10% bonus damage to targets that are status effect. Now again, I don't know if this is applied for you, but it does say group members, so it's possible you're getting 10%, or just the other teammates are getting 10%. And you have the med pack, which gives you your team healing and everything else, so if you do have to heal up, you have that as a backup. So let's go and show you the difference in this real quick. Now again, I've got the bleed on, and I switched this to health damage. So as you can see, the bleed effect was 41, and now it's at what, 47, I think. Hard to really see those red numbers for me. And let's bring it closer. Let's do this. Let's go to veteran so we can hit the armor. Oh, damn those numbers. Yeah, 47. So we're in for 47, and then we'll try to, if I can get some blue numbers. There we go. 49. We're hitting for 49 on the armor. Let's take the armor off. And yeah, 47 on the health. So again, the health damage is best on this shotgun, so when you hit them with that, you're not losing too much damage. So you're going from 49 to 47. Okay, and now that's extra, that's almost an extra 50k in damage on the player, and you're getting the status effect to get your armor regen back out as well. So that's why I'm using this. Now you can trade out status effect for armor regen, which is like 49, 25k. So if you put it on every spot except for these two, you're looking at close to about 1% armor regen. So not only will you have 1% armor regen, but if you put the Ridgeways in there, you're also going to get an extra 3 from that. So that gives you 4% armor regen total in those spots if you don't want to do status effect. But I strongly suggest status effect, because that's extra damage and extra regen for your player. So let's go to this right here. Now as you can see, I have no armor. Okay, now I switched the mop out, so if anybody wants to say anything, I have no armor on right now. Now this is the armor regen of the chest piece. Okay, and I want y'all to listen to me very carefully. It's 3% every second. It's not 3% flat, it's 3% every second. So watch this. You see it tick up on my armor? So that's every second. Okay, now why is that important to remember? Because every second you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4 for it to come back. So you have to bleed about 2 targets just to get the good armor regen. Yeah, 3% is decent, but 6% is better, but it's still going to tick up 6% at every second. Now an armor regen build will do it continuously even if you take damage. You'll see the bars just slowly go up just constantly, versus this one is every second. So this is not a good one for PvP. Okay, I want to stress that as much as I can. It's not great for PvP. It is good for running around and doing PvE. Okay, so this build while it may work great and it gets out a lot of numbers, I would not suggest for PvP. Okay? Now, if you want to use this for PvP, use a shotgun. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you my 5% armor regen build. Okay? Like I showed you how that number, like the repairs go up. Okay? I'm going to show you that the repairs, like, look at this. See it constantly going up? Even as I was trying to take damage, it was trying to go up. So that's 5% armor regen, okay, versus the 3% armor regen or the 6% I was getting. Now again, I bled 2 targets, I had 6%. It didn't even go up close to this. Why? Because that 6% was every second. So I'm not trying to make my build right here look bad, but it's also not great because the devs will not fix that one part. If they fix that, that build that I have will beat this one because it's 1% more in armor regen and it's got the more damage. So I'm praying that this video gets out and the devs see it and go, hey, let's take that 1 second part off. So here we go. I'm going to show you this build right here that I have put together against a named boss and some heroic purples. You see them right out there. Toss this hive. Hello, motherfuckers. Again, I'm using the mop just because I want that extra armor on kills, which also helps out the armor regen part. And done. So again, there are pieces you can change around with this build. There are parts that are going to give it more damage in the weapon. There's also parts that are going to give it more damage to a player, more damage to a status. It's honestly the player's choice. Now again, you can go with the first one with the AR and go all damage to armor. That's going to give your status effects some good damage and also give you enough crit chance and crit damage to do so. The problem is with the Ridgeway's Pride is the armor regen part of it. Do not rely on it. Okay? I cannot stress this part enough. Do not rely on the armor regen unless you're bleeding 2 or more players or enemies. It's not great. What you're using the Ridgeways for is the damage. The damage alone is what's going to drop them fast. So if you want to drop them extremely fast, go with a shotgun, go with as much crit damage as you can get, or as much damage to armor as you can get, and put on a piece of Badger Tough. If not, go with the one that I built. Try to find the pieces to where you can put armor on. If you can get them all armor, great. That one is good for the dark zone. Enjoy.